Hey guys, what I do is your boy Supreme with you had a god. Now sorry guys, I do not have any video at the moment. I need to buy a new charger for my camera. It's a whole moment, you know what I'm saying? But I will be back with the motherfucking sauce soon, you know what I'm saying? You already know I've been setting up the room with the lights, you know what I'm saying? We got pink lights and shit. It's becoming a real stream place, and I know my posting has been horrendous the past few weeks, but I was gone for a few days. I had to direct a music video that's going to be absolutely phenomenal. Hopefully I'll be able to share you guys a few clips of that after it comes out. But trust me, this shit is a budget thing, so I got, I got to stay in a hotel, 4 or 5 star hotel for a few days to direct this video, and it's going to be insane. I have a bunch of projects I'm working on that are all going to be amazing, and I can't wait to share with you guys at least the behind the scenes and shit like that. But yeah, so you should follow Outsiders End for more info on like what I've been working on, and to see the results of a lot of stuff I've been working on. I'm traveling again tomorrow for like the whole week, so like it's just been hard to fit in YouTubing for you guys. But I have been trying to read and catch up on stuff during my travels, like on the train and on the bus and stuff like that, so I can give you guys the reviews as soon as possible. You know what I'm saying? I know it's already Tuesday, and LOOKISM came out like fucking 2 days ago already, but I did read it. I just didn't get a chance to record it and edit it and post it and all that jazz. But here I am talking about my favorite chapter probably in LOOKISM thus far, man. Look, it's absolutely phenomenal. I think it's just, it sets everything up perfectly. Jin, man, I don't know if my favorite episode of all time, but like it's one of my favorites right now. Top 10 for sure. Jin just absolutely plays everybody like a fiddle, and both sides. He doesn't just play the J-High side, he plays both sides like an absolute fiddle. He got them all ready to fight each other. Now, I do think I don't think they're going to fight long. I do think they're going to realize that they need to stop pretty soon. So first of all, there is a very interesting, I think, again, I mentioned this earlier and I predicted this earlier, that in my previous review, actually, I think that this arc is mainly going to be about Zack. About Zack and Eli. I think that it's going to be about the two of them, and I think they're the two most integral parts of this whole arc, right? And my reasoning for that was because I felt like Zack felt responsible for Jiho. You know what I'm saying? And obviously there was the whole situation with him and what's her name? No, not Crystal. Zoe. Is it Zoe? Is it Zoe, man? Let me just double check this name. No, it's not Zoe. Wait. There's a lot of girls, bro. What's her name? Jasmine. There you go. God damn it. With him and Jasmine, she tried to fuck up Mira and all that shit, and he trusted her, and she betrayed him. So that was interesting. And then her dad, came to the school begging for him, for them to bring the daughter back. You know what I'm saying? And obviously this is where Daniel's conflict comes into play really, really nicely, because we know this from a very long time ago that Daniel, since he realized what his mama had to do for him, his bum ass, because he was an absolute bum at the time, that he had to, obviously she's glistening now because of all the money he got earned and he just sent it to her. But basically, he kind of thinks that parents should be treated better, but he's when he's gone to the extreme, the other extreme. He went from treating her like shit to the next extreme. Now Zack doesn't have that problem, right? He's a very balanced individual throughout the story. You know what I'm saying? Even when he was a little bit of a bully, he was never that vicious of a bully. You know what I'm saying? He's always pretty balanced. He's neither really good or really bad. But in this situation, he believes Jasmine. Now we gotta understand that Jasmine is being used to get them to fight in the first place, right? And now Jin, I think, did this on purpose. This is very smart, because he sent the father to the school. He allowed let the father know that, oh, if you go to this school, these kids know where Jasmine is. You know what I'm saying? And then he used that, knowing that that's gonna drive Daniel to come and stop and bring her back to the parents. But he also knew that hearing her story is gonna drive Zack to prevent Daniel from taking her. You know what I'm saying? And so that's where the conflict is naturally created. I think they have the best naturally created conflict out of the whole situation than everybody else. I think the Vin and Vasco one is it's a bit weak in comparison to for the reason to fight. Now obviously Vasco's Mr. Righteous and all that shit. But I mean he's beating dudes up to pulp as well. Right now, he does not like. To be fair, he does not like weaklings being beaten up, and obviously, Vin is way too strong for the guy he's competing against. So he does feel like that whole, save the little guy. He got a hero complex. So it is pretty strong still, and obviously we know Vin hates being looked at as weaker. You know what I'm saying? Because he's an absolute beast, and we've still yet to see his full strength because he hasn't had adversity that high caliber, because he's never fought he's only fought once without his shades. You know what I'm saying? And it's all about his eyes. I don't know why he hides it. We're still looking, kind of got a few hints, but we've never really been told. And there's a reason he's scared of Mary Kim, or they're like super best friends, so obviously he has to get the picture back. Now, to be fair, okay, this one isn't that weak, but he's just not as strong as the Daniel and Zach one, right? I think that conflict is just brilliantly orchestrated. Obviously friends, but they have two opposing ideologies in this situation. It's like a Captain America versus Iron Man moment. This is like a Civil War moment, and there's actually a brilliant comment that's like LOOKISM Civil War. You know what I'm saying? So it's positively brilliant. I just cannot. Oh, Infinity War. I cannot even wait for what the next chapter is going to entail. Now, the weakest conflict between the good guys is probably Logan and Jay. Just because, I mean, it's like Logan to take the bike, but, it's just, there's nothing deeper than that, than him just taking the bike and Jay being like, give me my shit back. There's nothing more than that really for the conflict, but which is really, really interesting. Now, Jasmine is also going to be a very important character in this arc. Obviously, there's the whole rape thing. She was obviously assaulted by her dad. At least that's what she seems. She seems very real about it. It seems to be a real situation. Just because you can see that her tear almost falls involuntarily, because obviously, like Zach said, she's the girl who cried wolf. You know what I'm saying? And if you're the girl who cried wolf, why should anybody believe you or take your word for it? You know what I'm saying? And Zach seeing that tear is like, fuck, maybe she's not lying, because it just doesn't, you know what I'm saying? It doesn't really benefit her too at that moment, you know what I'm saying? And especially for something that deep. But then again, you can't really know with these hostile people, right? I'm gonna believe her, just because I feel like, yes, she's the girl who cried wolf, but it really, really seemed way more intense than normal. And because of that, I really think that, like, she's definitely telling the truth. And I don't know who's going to win here, because, again, Zach been balling. He's been training. He's never 100% fought Daniel like that. The only time they fought and he lost, he underestimated Daniel completely. And that's a completely different story than as Zach, who's completely prepared for you. So I don't know how the fight is going to go. Now, obviously, Daniel is technically stronger than him, but Zach is just far superior when it comes to technique, and I think also superior when it comes to speed. He lacked stamina. That's the only reason why he lost that race of like 50, 100 chapters back. So there's a lot of things in his favor, but obviously Daniel overall is just a much more balanced individual when it comes to fighting. So that would be his massive advantage. Yeah, so I thought it was really, really good how they set up a lot of the conflict and how Jin orchestrated it, because he did go to the school and he did keep an eye on them, and he did, but obviously we have our own detective on our side, so he might pull up and actually have predicted this as well. I hope not, because I'd like to see the conflict. I think the conflict would be phenomenal. Yeah, but so I'm super excited for what's going to happen next. They already defeated so many people just by being there. I do see them defeating more people. I'm probably most excited about the Vin and Vasco fight because I really want to see how powerful Vin is. That's somebody I really want to see how powerful he is. And again, I will definitely do a character breakdown of him very soon. I just want to know a little bit more information about him, just so I can make a really good and compelling character analysis of him, kind of like I did with what's his name, with Johan. You know what I'm saying? I think I'm going to do Jiho next. So I'm going to try to do Jiho, probably release that for tomorrow. I'm going to record it later today and release that for you guys tomorrow. And I think I'm going to have a few more character breaks down. I think I did a Vasco one already. So I think I'm going to also maybe do a Daniel one, actually. I think I will do a Daniel one because sometimes I overlook him pretty often. I think I'll do a Daniel one and I'll do a Logan Lee one as well. Jay is very hard to do, again, because not too much information is known about him in terms of his actual, like, what he actually, like, really deep. All we know so far is that he likes Daniel and his dad is super rich and his sister is, you know, a superstar. So that's really all we know. There's not enough compelling information for me to want to do a video on him yet. But yeah, Jiho, expect that shit tomorrow. I might do a Zach Lee part 2, just because I feel like he's probably the character that has grown the most and has had the best arc out of the whole story, just because it's been more consistent than Daniel. Daniel at the start had a phenomenal arc that obviously lasted the longest, but it didn't, not too much has changed since the whole him dying fiasco. Not a lot of, we haven't really got, you know, a lot of progress for him since then. But Zach Lee, I think, his character overall had the steadiest and probably the best development, from a bully to a person now who's ready to fight one of his closest friends in order to protect a girl from being molested again. You know what I'm saying? So, and I think regardless of her potentially lying, I think is the right decision, because that 1% chance, that 2% chance is too much to risk, and I think he's making the right choice by doing it. And this kind of showcase the negative aspect of Daniel is that he does believe that his ideology is correct because of his own personal experience and is not thinking things true, like fully. You know what I'm saying? So that's kind of a shame. It's a negative part of him, but I think it's a necessary part to showcase about him, that he's not the perfect protagonist and he's never really been that. And I think that's one of the things I like about this webtoon very much, is the fact that Daniel is a far from perfect main protagonist. Even how he treated his mom early on, you know, how he let the good looks get to his head, and just a bunch of other things. But he is learning. He's an intuitive character that learns and adapts and moves and grows with us as well. So I'm super excited for the next chapter. What did you guys think of this chapter, man? Again, I think this is a Zach Lee arc. Zach Lee and obviously our boy Eli Jean. You know what I'm saying? I think it's also Johan. I think the three of them it's mainly about them. And why I think Johan is because I think Johan has to decide which to join a side, probably. You know what I'm saying? I think at some point he's gonna have to join a side. But thinking about it, I think Johan is probably gonna be next arc. This arc, I'm gonna say, obviously, Jiho, I think, is also next arc. I think this arc is definitely going to be Zach Lee and Eli Jean story. I think I had said Jiho. I think I had said Johan earlier when I meant to say Eli Jean at some point. But yeah, I think it's going to be mainly about them. And again, I'm super excited. It's been your boy Supreme Chia, the God, and Ali Wong too, of course, and Jin. You know what I'm saying? But for the good guy side, it's been your boy Supreme Chia, the God. Hey, make sure you turn the sharing gun off, cause I'm out. You know what I'm saying? Peace.